Hello everyone, Manithral here, and welcome to the weekly RS3 update video. Now this week is a Ninja Strike week. However, we actually have a large amount of content that comes with this one. And the target of their strike was actually the Lunar Spellbook, which actually brings a lot more spells to the Lunar Spellbook. So, the first new spell is a Sift Soil. So this nifty sifting spell will allow you to screen soil accrued during your archaeology adventures without having to trudge back to the archaeology guild to use the screening station. This spell requires 91 magic, 10 water runes, 5 earth runes, and 1 astral to cast. We also have the trap telekinesis. So if you're tired of going to reset them, you can actually use this spell to gather from them and retrieve them, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. So you can reset them this way and clean them, whatever you need to do. So this spell requires level 97 magic, 5 air runes, 1 lull rune, and 2 astral runes. Another new spell is Fire Urns. So instead of having to use a pottery oven, you can now actually have these used on the pottery wheel and then go ahead and fire them with the spell. This spell requires 82 magic, 5 water runes, 5 earth runes, 10 fire runes, and 1 astral. Another spell is Telekinetic Grind. So this is more of your herb lore type thing, traditionally. But anything that uses a pestle and mortar, you can actually grind it up to a stack of 60 at once. And this nifty little one, so this is like your blue dragon scales, you know, that kind of stuff. But this requires level 85 magic, 2 astral, and 1 wall to cast. There is now going to be the lunar teletabs, so that's absolutely fantastic. So we now have the teleport locations for you to use with the tablets. Remote Farm has been overhauled and more usable, readable, and user-friendly. So, as you can see, patches are now separated by category for easier navigation. And some of them indicate the compass directly they face in, rather than, excitingly, the interface now includes the Telelet berry bushes, or berry patches, as well as the money tree. You'll notice that there's different patch states are now color-coded, so you can tell at a glance which of your veggies are in need of some plant cure. Keen farmers will be especially overjoyed to find that they're now able to cast the fertile soil spell via the same interface, leaving them with more time to get on with weeding and whatnot. So it's a lot less running around now. Finally, those speedy ninjas definitely cut down on the amount of time it takes to actually open the interface after casting the spell. So this is just some of the highlights, but be sure to check out the patch notes, which we will, of course. Make Leather will now tan all hides of the same type in your backpack at once, without having to cast the spell multiple times. So, accordingly, you'll notice that this spell no longer uses the Make X system. Tune Bainite Ore, now you can cast this spell on Bainite rocks to mine monster-specific ore directly from the rock. So you will mine it, and as you're mining it, you will get that from it. But it does say to do so, you'll need an item related to the type of Bane ore you're after, either in your backpack or mounted on the wall of your player in the house. This spell will be applied to every Bainite rock in the area precisely for 2 minutes. The appropriate runes will be consumed each time you mine an ore. Boosts and buffs, such as those associated with Signs of the Porter or Juju potions, will work. Of course, if you prefer the old-fashioned way, the spell still retains the original function. It's just now you can cast it on a rock and you'll have that bonus for 2 minutes. Super Glass Make. The grammar might sound dodgy, but the Super Glass Make is now more useful than ever, granting you the ability to turn crystal flex sandstone and red sandstone into crystal or robust glass at the click of a button, provided that you've completed as a first resort. You also notice that the previous spell icon has been replaced with something a bit more illustrative, and the tooltip now specifies that the spell has a chance to create extra pieces of molten glass. Lastly, they removed the movement action delay that occurred after casting the Super Glass Make, which should make getting on things a lot easier. We also are seeing the Carapac track. So this is another Yak track, but it is Carapac themed, so all Dragonkin. So from today until November 2nd is when we have this going on. So keep in mind, everything is going to be Dragonkin themed, including the Mechana Yak. So you'll have a mechanized Dragonkin Yak. There is, starting at tier 6, you can receive Thok's hand-me-down weapons and armor parts. So you can get some kind of cool things. There is a stasis armor cosmetic override, another cool thing. There's a Thok's War Bunny at tier 10 premium track. Apparently very adorable. And then we also have Commander Scampers. And as you can see here, he is actually a cute little Chinchompa in like a spiderized mech suit. And during this, as this is a little fun thing to do, you can actually tune into streamers of the RS guy, Makaru, RS_Rav, and Scardy Genj, and Zalandra to see how well they get through everything and how quickly. But keep in mind, this does close November 2nd. And don't forget about the 10th annual Golden Gnome Award finalists have been announced. So do check that out. And now we will head over to the community news, which for live streams this week, September 23rd at 1600 game time, we have JMod Penguin Hide and Seek. Thursday, September 24th at 1600 game time, RuneScape special announcement. Very curious to know what that is. Featured streamer this week is Casual Teabag, which is Tuesday, September 22nd at 6:30 game time. So it'll be Group Masses, Fashion Escape, Dice of Death, a Treasure Hunt, and a bit of Hide and Seek just to round it out. The Creative Corner highlights for this is the pre-first stage of RuneScape, which is a short film. So that is something definitely worthwhile to check out. We also have some screenshot here, which is nothing is true, everything is permitted, which is a nice eagle dive screenshot, which is actually pretty good. Mod JD's challenge, the Cook's Assistant. So if you want to check out to see how that went, you can actually go to the Cook's Assistant, his YouTube page, and check it out to see how that went. Community Corner, there is a featured forum thread, is a place where clan leaders can hang out together and talk everything up with clan leadership. So do check that out. There's also the Pink Skirts event, so don't forget about that. And now let's head on over to the patch notes. So there is new spells and features, as we have actually already discussed. So don't forget to check those new spells and features out. But there's also some other things that they did not mention on the main page. The tablets are tradable, but can only be made and used after meeting the requirement to cast the original spells. So you can buy them, you can sell them, but you can't use them unless you meet the requirements. The North Ardougne, South Falador, and Catherby spells have had their descriptions updated The Trollheim Teleport spell has been renamed to the Trollheim Farm Teleport. Existing spells, so the remote farm interface has been updated, as we had mentioned. Patches are now separated by category. Patches are color coded. Fertile soil spell can be used through that. Certain patches are now labeled to show which direction they face. Reduce the delay between casting the spell. The Twilight Berry patches, the money tree, have been added to it. The Tune Bainite, don't forget, you can now tune the rock and then get your way that way. Or if you want, you can do it the original way. And there's also a stat restore potion share change and a boost potion share have been combined into one spell, potion share. This spell now works with most tradable potions aside from those with negative effects such as the aggression potions, Saradomin and Zamrock brews, and power burst due to their cooldowns. Spiritualized food has been renamed to spiritual healing and no longer requires a piece of food to cast. This spell can now extend familiar's timers beyond the initial max time, fix an issue where the interface did not update to show that the familiar life points were healed. Magic Imbue will now provide a buff bar icon which shows the remaining duration of the spell. The Trollheim Teleport spell now states that they require the completion of My Arm's Big Adventure. In general, the description of various spells has been adjusted to reflect today's changes. Lunar spells that have yet to be unlocked will now appear unhighlighted and let the player know how to unlock them. Replace various instances of word inventory with backpack in Lunar spell book. Spell descriptions and info error messages. 1 dose to 5 dose of Juju Flask and combination potions that were previously tradable have been tradable player to player. This only applies to Juju or combination potions which were already tradable at 6 doses. You will now be given an example effigy during the effigy incubator tutorial, so that is less confusing when it is taken away. An issue that caused effigy pets to show the incorrect colors when textures were turned off has been resolved. Iron Man accounts that have been invited to become a player moderator will now correctly show the respective Iron Man icons in broadcasts. So that is actually it for today's update. Quite a bit. So thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, later guys.